watching us. The subspace frequencies needed to contact them are encoded in the admonition.
Dr. Sue and I have designed a suitable container to sign them. We can have it transmitting before the Romulan fleet arrives.
Why? So that no more of my children.
Hello, hello. Mic check 1 2 3 4. Mic check 1 2 3 4. Come on, come on, come on. Are we live? Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2. The sound is good. The 350 episode was on last night. Oh, arguably that's what really turned me into a giant South Park fan was that episode. Um, I still do not know why the chat box is not working. It's on some straight up Bullstein. Everything else is on. Let's see here. Are we up and running now? All right. Yeah, maybe this bad boy is deciding to work now. There we go. All right. So, yeah. For a few more people to come on in. See, I much rather have used the Streamlab one, but I could not. What's up, Lincoln Clay? I saw your live from Wakanda today. What was that about today? What were you doing today? Sound like you were like at a live location. Shout out to Lincoln Clay on his live of Wakanda. So, but hit that like button, people. Tell them that we live. So, I'm now jumping into the Discord. If anybody wants to jump into the Discord, I'm hoping that it works. So, I mean, it was hell this morning. I mean, I don't know what was going on this morning with it. I couldn't get anything to work. So, downloaded some stuff on. I may still download that F-15C thing. I don't know on the flight sim. Well, let's see here. Am I on? Let's see, here's that. There's that. And let me turn that on. All right, there that is. So, all right, there we go. Put the link. I'm not for sure how to do that. I mean, I can try. Which Discord? If you go through the remember the one, the RGT one, and then it's the Porch Light Podcast one. Let me see if I can drop that link. Let's see here. It says create invite. See, you guys are not on my invite list. That's part of the problem. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm not for sure where it says search for friends. So, what are you all's names on Discord? I'll try to send it to you. So, this what are your Discord names? So, not an RG. That's fine. I can send you an invite, but I'm trying to figure out what are you linking Clay 670 in Discord as well? So Corey Massey had to call Zaire. Well, I mean, you don't have to. He's again, they're trying to provide entertainment. They're not over there to provide major accuracy. It's not that it won't. It's not that he won't hit with accurate stuff, but yeah, just it doesn't. I mean, again, my entire take on that is, and they've said this before, is that they're there to provide entertainment and have fun. They're not really there to give you the truth. Now, let me make this clear. I don't know how that stream works, but at YouTube, we had to sign new terms and conditions. So there ain't going to be a whole lot more lying on YouTube. They're not going to tolerate it. So they're spreading misinformation. Well, again, it's up to the individuals to go find out what the truth is. So just like today, he said, Xbox snatched the power crown from Sony. It's like, how can they snatch the power crown? They've been the most powerful console since 2017. I mean, that's the truth. With that said, they have a more powerful mid-gen refresh, and then Sony has a more powerful, I guess you want to call it original thing. So it is what it is. So, well, again, but you all knew that was going to happen. The more information that comes out about PS5 from the developers, the more they're starting to complain. That's just the way it is. I just, as the developers drop more knowledge, they're going to be getting more and more upset. So, but yeah. So yeah, they're that's just the way they are. So they wanted to believe that Xbox was the only thing that did different things, that you were gonna have to buy an Xbox to get certain things, and it's not true. It's just simply not true. So just it is what it is. So and that's just the way they're going to be. They look at it as fun and games. It's a way for them to make money. I think Porter Rock brought up the fact. Porter Rock brought up the fact that, yeah, I mean, people are making money off the console BS back and forth. So they're not. It's not going to end. I personally believe. I personally believe it's going to have to end, or else people are going to have to go to Twitch. But Twitch will not tolerate the language. I mean, they won't. So it's just I don't know what's going to happen after everybody has to sign their new terms and conditions. So I've already signed mine. That's another reason why I got a lot of the people who were blocked. And let me make this clear: a lot of the people that were blocked are unblocked for the weekend. Everybody has a weekend pass. So I don't know how to share on OBS. So I'm hoping that BitCloud can jump on and give me a rundown. But yeah, it's about Godfall. Yeah, I may talk about it tomorrow. So they demand better from Microsoft and stop talking about hardware and services. Well, but that's what they demand from them is the hardware and services. They don't want to live in a world where they can't buy. But that's what they demand from them. Where they can't buy something. Okay, that's just the honest truth. That's the sad ass truth right there. They don't want to wake up and Microsoft has Microsoft has ended they've ended their run. The Coon 1985, yeah, everybody's unblocked for this weekend. So even Halo Storm is unblocked. So but we hit 1250 in subs. The fact that you guys have been blocked, there's actually been more people join because they don't want to hear you and your BS. So that's just the truth. So again, it's just, yeah, everybody's unblocked though, Emrys 17. So I'm not going to not unblock. It's not like he's going to jump in. I mean, I'm doing this stream now. because of the one. This was supposed to be a test stream. I didn't think this was going to work, so that's why I started it early. I was supposed to start at 7 o'clock. I'm like, what the heck? I'll start early. So, you know, oh yeah, listen to him gave me a headache too. So, so, well, there you go. I'm just saying the people that were blocked. I mean, yeah, because a lot of people got blocked, and I just didn't go unblock them. But I actually went in and unblocked people about an hour ago. So, but yeah, so they're unblocked for the weekend. So, but that's it. You know, at this when I come back on Wednesday the 15th to do a podcast, knock wood, that'll probably be an afternoon podcast. Um, out, they're gonna be reblocked again. That's just the way this cookie bounces. So, but yeah, I do not know what was going on earlier with StreamYard. I could not get it to work right, and then I changed the ingestion key and all that kind of crazy stuff, and went in and did a couple of other different things. But yeah, that. So had to jump through hoops pretty much to get it going here. So, but yeah, how is everybody enjoying that Final Fantasy game? So, how's everybody enjoying Final Fantasy 7? Because Zaddy loves him some Final Fantasy 7. Just so people know, Zaddy loves Final Fantasy 7. So, and he got high praise for it. Yeah, he's got high praise for it. So, so see, there's that. All right, so I just invited BitCloud. Inviting Jemiah Dixon. Inviting Sick Humor. So that takes care of the invites. So there we go. So you bought it last night and couldn't stop playing it until 7 a.m. Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to get mine the next week or Friday, God willing. So let's see here. Opponents need to stop hyping Corey. He's a bigger troll than me. So yeah, I'll be playing it next week. I see a lot of people are streaming it, so that's cool. How did the Canadian con man shut down anybody? So check my Twitter. Okay, here we go. Messages. You're talking about Twitter messages? I don't see any messages. So yeah. I mean, I had somebody tell me that let's see here. Hell, I had somebody tell me that Microsoft owns the PC platform. I'm like, are you kidding me? How stupid are these people? Maybe that's the problem, is that it's coming through the RGT one. That could be it. So I sent one there. I'll send the one to J Dub City. I mean, I have no idea how this stuff works though. So says or send an invite to a server link or friend. So yeah, I have no idea how that works. But anyway. All right, you can see the 3 topics there. I'm just hoping that everything's running good. So oh, okay, 3, 5, 6, 7. Okay. I sent the wrong link. Well, Jemiah, you've been in here before. That is the link. I mean, you could get into. All you have to do is go through RGT and then the Portia Light podcast. So let me see if I can find Lincoln Clay here. 3, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Let me see. Let me go to invite. This is, was it hashtag? This has no results found. Let me try this. I have no idea how this crap works. It shouldn't be this hard. It's just not finding results. I'm probably doing it wrong. Damn it. Oh well. Well, we got 3 topics there. But if you're in the RGT Army one, if you go to the RGT, you should be able to get to mine. Mine's like a sub thing to RGT because I don't use it a whole lot. You know, I usually, because I don't like using it. So I typed that in and it did not work. So yeah, let's see here. You know. Yeah, and I understand why shout out to J-Dub City. Understand why J-Dub is on that panel is to do exactly what he's doing. It's an entertaining podcast, guys. I mean, do not take that podcast seriously. Like if you want real live information, probably am I low? I shouldn't be. Let me try to turn this up then. Well, I've got it on 86, but let me go over here to the stream thing. Okay, that's about almost as high. That's in the yellow zone. I was down in the green zone. But so yeah. But yeah, does it entertain you? Then don't listen. It's that simple. I'm serious, guys. I mean, if you don't like something, don't listen. I mean, are you listening, hoping that it's gonna act? They're gonna be different. Oh, okay. I see what I did wrong. All right. All right, now let me make sure I've got the mic turned up. Hold on. I think I got the mic turned up wrong. All right, say something again, Jemiah.
Yo, yo, yo.
All right, so you're coming through the, this is not acting right. You should not, I should be able to hear you through my headset, not through my, oh, I think I see the problem. I know what the problem is. There we go. I did not have my mic turned on or plugged in right. I was just talking. Okay. So now my voice ought to sound a little better. And I can turn this down just a hair. And then I can turn this down. Yeah, Sick was right. But let me turn this down to 40 something because that's probably going to be way too high. Okay. Yeah, I didn't have that plugged in. Huh. Odd. But hey, well, this thing you have to troubleshoot with is complete trash. This doesn't work right. So, but all right then. So there's that. There's that. There's that. All right. So Jemiah Dixon said, all right. So Jemiah, you're playing Final Fantasy VII. So how is it so far?
I think I like the story. I mean, I like the extra stuff that's going on. I think the combat is super like how can I put this? I think it's super just I think it's super easy to be honest. Like you know what I mean? Like
well, the demo wasn't hard.
Like I just think it's like I mean I don't know if I've fought any like real bosses yet, but as far as I'm going, like I think the combat is very easy. I mean I like it as far as like the combat goes, but I think it's just easy. Like we'll see if I get it more of a challenge. But
well,
like I do.
What do you have it
I still
on?
think turn-based is the best. I have it on like the highest it can go as normal. I think.
Well, no, do you have it on the turn-based combat or the newer
No, I have
combat?
it on normal.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I heard that it's not even the newer one's not turn-based. It's just slower. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I need to go ahead and get back on it. But I don't think I can get my copy till next week. So.
I think it's a good game though. I mean, I don't see why people are complaining that it's $60. I mean, it's definitely worth the money.
Well, see, they said it's over what 30 hours long, so 25 to
Yeah.
30 hours long.
Also, it's not the best looking game though. Let's be honest. Like, this is texture issues. There's a lot of texture issues going on with this game.
Oh yeah, that's what Zaddy said about the game. Said it had some
A lot of textures.
Yeah.
Hopefully they can patch that. I mean, I don't see why they wouldn't be able to patch textures in. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, they
It seems
should.
weird to me because some of the game looks amazing. Even when you're just walking around, and sometimes it looks like what the fuck, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So,
well, damn. Well, yeah, like I said, Zaddy gave it an 87, so I think that's the same score that Spider-Man has. So, you know,
I mean,
I
think
think
something that the texture issue is a bug.
it could be. Yeah, I haven't seen
I mean,
it.
I don't know. All I can tell you is what I see. It's like,
yeah.
I mean, does the game look good? Like overall, it looks good, but there are texture issues. So, I like to keep shit 100. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
I mean, if you're a Final Fantasy 7 fan and you played the original, or if you're even new, it's definitely a cop. You know what I mean? It's definitely a must cop game.
Yeah.
Especially right now, there's nothing coming out. You know what I mean? It's definitely.
Well, I mean, yeah, you got the MLB game, you got the Predator games coming out the week after next.
I mean, you got Gears Tactics. I'm talking about like AAA blockbuster bangers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if it weren't for like the COVID, you know what I mean, they would have had huge marketing. You know what I mean? It would have been like fucking probably in Times Square. You probably have a big ass cloud, you know, side of a building. But you know, without the marketing, you know, it doesn't seem as big, you know. But nobody's looking for Predator like that. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm gonna cop it, but I'm just saying people in general.
Yeah, no, that is true. That is true.
Levi, nobody cares about the Switch, bro. Shut up.
Well, Switch coming out with something? Or they got something on the horizon?
I guess. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Bro.
Well, that's cool. Hey, as long as you enjoy it, right? You know, that's all I can really say.
You know, you're right, Craig. If you like it, I love it. You know.
Yeah, if you like it, I love it for you. You know, I can't play it; it's too small. But it's as long as you're having fun. What else is happening on the Twitter machine? Nothing happening today. What else is out there? Like I said, everybody's unblocked. So go tell your mama, go tell your baby mama.
Hit that like button, people.
Hit the like button, hit the share button. Yeah, I only have 14 likes, so yeah, y'all have to do a much better job.
Vedra, there's still a bunch of popping in the game when you're walking through the town, so I don't see why the lure textures would help the popping since they still have popping. Like, I don't know. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, it's not breaking my immersion. You know what I mean? I still enjoy the game. I mean, like,
what's up, Salty? How you doing, brother? I'm glad you stopped by. Yeah, so I guess this game comes out next year on PC. So and I saw Kofi, Mr. Puddlegate himself said it's worth the 1 year wait on the PC. I'm like, no, it's not. Nothing's worth waiting a year for except alcohol. You know,
I don't believe in waiting on games unless the versions are like drastically gonna be different.
Yo, what's up? It's Levon Case, and what's up, everyone? What's up, Craig? How's it been?
That's going all right. Going all right. Let me see here. Just looking through the chat here. Link says, "What's up? What's going on, Link?" So if you're a true Final fan, Salty said, if you're a true Final Fantasy fan, you wouldn't wait. Yeah, you're right. I mean, I'm gonna get it because I mean, there were people crying back in the day when this game came out, like grown. I can't say they were grown. We were kids. People were crying, and I better get an explanation on why Link's sword is bigger than his. You know, that's all I can say because I didn't buy the game for that simple reason. I looked at the box art. I'm like, his sword's bigger than him. I'm not buying this. You know, so it's just like that Cyberpunk game. I'm not buying it. It's called Cyberpunk. Okay, it's just I can't buy a game called Cyberpunk. I can't physically do it. My hand will not allow me to buy something called Cyberpunk. And they're talking about what the DLC or something like that already coming out or being cut out, or it was something stupid. So, but yeah, I certainly hope everybody enjoys playing Cyberpunk when it comes out. Apparently,
How many teraflops do you think the sword has?
The sword, I don't know. It's bigger than him. So how tall is Cloud? So I don't, yeah. And again, the teraflop thing's been put to bed and rocked to sleep and had a bottle put in its mouth. I mean, it's that's over and dead. I mean, it's just oh God, how did that guy put it? It's theoretical computation.
Oh
That,
shit.
So and again, to me, it's hilarious. So even
But hey, bro,
Salty's a big Final Fantasy fan. He said the sword is out of proportion. That's my point. At least when Vision swung Thor's hammer in Age of Ultron, he was basically like, "Hey, look, it's Vision said what? It's terribly well balanced."
Thanks for the show, guys.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank you, Sony
I think
Prophet.
that's my phone in my car.
they just picked that shit up for like it was nothing though. Like,
Vision, yeah, he was worthy. So.
Sony Prophet gave a super chat.
Yeah, I just saw it. It got read. Thanks for the show.
Oh.
Appreciate you. Appreciate the $5 holla. There, Sony Prophet.
yo, I just checked my emails, right? And I got email from Apple was like, you got a receipt from Apple, bro. I spent mad money on donations within the last 5 days. I'm like, damn. I donated like $43 to your channel.
We appreciate your support, especially everything that's going on right now. And nobody, it's tough times for everybody. So anybody wants to donate, that's cool. Try to donate to like to your Red Cross or something like that. But yeah.
I'm talking about the YouTube channels. Y'all know Marlon Gaming Nation, right?
Yeah, I like Marlon. Yeah.
I know him. Yeah, he's cool.
His channel usually gets the donations because he cool to me. So.
Yeah, he be saying "Let's go, champ." I can't do that. I mean, shout out to Marlon though. He's like that. He's like the warm up band. I like that guy. Yeah, but I can't do "Let's go, champ." So but that's his thing. That's his moniker. That's cool. I ain't dissing him. Shout out to another brother that's out there trying to make it. And to his credit, he comes on at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and he'll go for 3 or 4 hours. So. I thought it was a little exaggerated with that gamepad that came out, and because all these people, let me tell you all this, all you all making these screenshots, Sony has not said you can do that yet. I mean, as far as making your own type of gamepad, so until they do it, you all need to not get your hopes up. So because it would not shock me if they said, "Nah, you can't do it." Don't be shocked.
They would never say that.
So,
because that would have publicity. They would never say that.
Well, I mean, I know, but I mean, they haven't said you can. And don't get me wrong, I think the mock-ups are pretty cool. I like the Spider-Man one. So
it's a concept. If it's the legit controller, like it's really going to be those same curves or like not Photoshop.
Mm-hmm.
If it was out in people's hands and you made a different controller, that's a different story. But that's not like somebody stole a controller and having it in their house and then they customizing it and putting it online. No, they're just taking a picture and doing Photoshop.
Which is cool.
I mean, think about it. If Sony didn't want you to create anything, you see the game Dreams, right? That wouldn't be a reality. So somebody already made the controller in Dreams, by the way. CRAIGTECH showed me.
Yeah, somebody made a console. Yeah, somebody made a console, which is great. I got a $2 holler from Mr. Hammond. He says I have a bizarre reason for not liking the game. No.
Bizarre reason for not liking a game.
No, I don't like
tears of joy.
Yeah, well, again, I just can't play a game called Cyberpunk. I don't even know what the hell a Cyberpunk is. So, I mean, shout out to Fatal. Fatal Mephisto tried to explain it to me. It did no good, so you're going to be walking around in first person trash.
Fire.
Trash.
It's going to be fire if you play it or not, though.
Well, yeah, you're right. I'm not playing it. Now, let me make this clear. If somebody buys me that thingy, that GPU, I will play it then.
Hey,
I'll play it.
See you that check, bro.
Huh? No.
Wait till
Trump. That Trump. No. Yeah, DJ Trump. Man, that's my man, 50 grand. But yeah, they need to hurry up with that. I'm starting to get a little worried. I want my check. I need to go ahead and
I gotta go get my phone on my car though. I'll be back.
Mine is on pause for me to get it, so I'm gonna get it, just not yet.
What do you mean? How come it's on pause?
I don't know. Like. Maybe because the company I work for, maybe it's taxes in general. Like I don't know why.
Well, they're not doing that. They're not holding it for anything.
How the fuck he donate $5.28?
The create button is called the white Zaddy button. Every time you hit it, you get more frames.
Oh my god.
The create button is called the white Zaddy button.
No, on the
Every
real,
time you
not,
hit it,
he's
you
not
get
lying to
more
you. You
frames
know
with
that started
VRS on
trending, right? Wipe
PS5.
Zaddy
Yeah.
on Twitter.
Well, everybody knows who Zaddy is now. I mean, they're the ones. Look, all they had to do was go to the store and buy it. They did not have to go to friggin' Zaddy and say, well, I need to see what kind of score Zaddy's going to give it, because then I can tear it down or build it up. If you like it, you like it. Like that horrible game that's out, Bleeding Edge. I haven't played that game, but I know it's trash. It looks like trash. You know, so and it got a
Looks like a
68.
nice Switch game.
Yeah,
Yo,
well,
bro,
it could be a Switch game for all I know. But again,
they
the
called
fact that
it bleeding ass, bro. Like that's
well,
crazy.
it's a passion
That part
product, you know.
Like,
bleeding
look,
ass, bro. I
look,
was like,
All right, and Patient Fire. And again, if somebody wants to buy me that thingy that's yellow and it says it comes with the game, I don't know how you do that, but I'll buy it. I'll play it then. But just to walk
what
around
GTA?
in first person and look at a city with people with cybernetic parts, that's just not. That doesn't move me. I mean, I'm just look, it's the theme of the game, the 1980s Blade. Well, look, I went to the movies to see Blade Runner when it came out. How many of you all saw the original Blade Runner? Not that trash that just came out a few years ago. I'm talking about the original Blade Runner in the theaters. That movie blew me away when I was only like
Harrison
8 years
Ford.
old. Yeah, with Harrison Ford. So, but yeah, this is not Blade Runner. We already have Blade Runner. It's called that Deuce X, whatever it's called, Mankind Divided, or whatever that's called. So we are. That's it. That's the game you're playing. It looks more colorful. That's all. But if you get the Series X, you already have, and check it out, they already are going to get an update on Series X. PlayStation 5 may not get that update yet. So according to CD Projekt Red.
Yo,
look.
you see Days X, man, how it looks, like graphic wise. I was like, God
What?
damn, like
Mhm.
look
Which
how
one?
it looks. Yo,
Which game?
Days X Mankind from Square Enix.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's
I saw
Cyberpunk. I mean, you can play that in first person as well. You don't have to play it in third person. You can play first
I'm
person.
gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not hyped for Cyberpunk. Like the gameplay that I saw, it didn't really like wow me at all. Like it didn't. Like don't get me wrong, the game looks good, like
Yeah.
graphic look, but it's just I don't know, like first person, like RPG, like that. Like I don't know. It didn't wow me away. I need to see more for that game to really grab me.
Well,
You
that's
know
what
what
I
I
am. It
mean?
doesn't move me. So I mean, I hope it's
It
good
moved
though,
me.
because everybody's
Yeah, it
looking
did.
forward to it. I mean, people saying
Yeah,
game of the year. I'm thinking, all right, well, I hope so, because if not, y'all gonna look stupid. You know, if this game, because if Zaddy gives the game a low score, and I hope the game does well. I'm rooting for the game, but I can't buy it. So, and I'll have a much better updated GPU. I'll be able to run it at 1080p Ultra. So, but I'm not gonna play it. Can't do it. So, but all right. Well, moving on. Where is BitCloud at? I need an explanation. He had somebody on his podcast, and the person said that. First of all, I got to talk about this Xbox Resident Evil and how Xbox gave up the booty in order to get 60 frames a second. They compromised. So I need an explanation. Anybody got an explanation on uncompromised 4K being compromised? Everybody leave? Oh, they're still there.
I'm here.
Oh, okay. Well, anybody got any comments?
What else thing you said?
Yeah. Yeah. Why did they compromise?
That was like crap, Craig. I mean, like I don't know, man. Like I'm gonna be honest, Craig. Like now that we're thinking about the Xbox and stuff, remember that Phil said now that he got some deals, third-party deals, and all that crap. Now,
Yeah.
then he said that back in 2017. Like, I got some third-party deals, blah 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 blah.
Well, they did.
I didn't see that.
Well, no,
What's that? I didn't see
the Star Wars game, Fallen Order, Fallen Jedi, whatever it's called. That was a Microsoft one. That was a Microsoft
but that's
third-party
not
deal.
exclusive.
Well, no, I mean, but it was a third-party
third-party.
deal. He didn't say third-party exclusives. He said we got third-party deals.
Yeah. But I thought about like third-party exclusive,
Right.
like things like that. Like look, like the people who make No Man's Sky, right?
Yeah.
They're making this little indie game, Neighbor Fire, Cat Fire, whatever the hell, and it's gonna be exclusive to the Xbox. they show it on Inside Xbox this week, right?
Yeah.
Which I saw that and I'm like, okay, hold up. This is one of the things that Phil said that he got some things going on behind the scenes. This is it. This is not a good start. This is not a good start.
But
Like, look, like, come on.
well, what did Matt Moody say about Game Pass? They said they were going to put a bunch of AA type games in the Game Pass. That's what they're doing. I just don't. I don't know why people just don't look like Microsoft is telling everybody exactly what they're doing. So I'm just kind of like, yeah, that's why I got rid of my Xbox. I'm like, I can't handle it. So
exactly, and then you gotta wait 2 years to get some well, not real exclusive because they're going to PC, but get some stuff for the Series X. You know what I mean? Gotta wait for that, and I ain't gonna lie, that in my opinion, that's empty consumer to me. Because you know what, Craig? You know why they're gonna do the same thing what they did with the X? Enhancements. Oh, you can play your OG Xbox. It's gonna look better. They get you 360 games, your Xbox One games. It's gonna look better. That's the same thing they did with the X. How did that turn out?
I don't know how the games are going to look better. They're going to both be 4K resolution with 4K textures and high settings minimum. Minimum high settings on these games.
Exactly. I just don't like. Listen, like I'm gonna be honest. Like me, like I said this before. I'm a PlayStation guy. But I like everything. I have an Xbox. I have a Switch. If I'm going around, I'm traveling. I got that joint. The only thing I don't have is a PC. You know what I mean? Maybe in the future I do get one if I decide go that route. But I prefer PlayStation because the diversity. They're working with third parties, giving you more content. The 360 had that, Craig. But once this guy left, Peter Moore, when he left, and yeah, I know Donnie did some things, but he did also some fucked up things. Once Peter Moore left, Craig, that's when everything went down the hill.
Oh yeah, no,
everything went down the hill, Craig. You got so much Japanese support, exclusive third-party Japanese support with that man in charge. You didn't see this generation.
Hold on a second. Hold on with what you're saying there. I want to make a point. By the way, hey everyone, kind of sneaked in earlier. As far as the Japanese support goes, I really think they sort of because they paid for that support, if you know what I mean. But I think they were trying to show the Japanese market how to basically milk the American gamer base for money. And I think the Japanese publishers were looking for that, and Microsoft showed them that, and that's why they got so much support. They don't have a big enough fan base in Japan to actually make them relevant over there. So I think that's kind of what happened. Really, the Microsoft Japanese relationship is actually pretty sad.
Yeah, it's gotten better. It's gotten a little better. I say over the last 22 months, it's gotten better. But
Craig, I will say this though, right?
But it is sad. Yeah.
There was an article that I read. I don't know, somewhere from Square Enix. I don't know who said it. That the Xbox has been, when it comes to Japanese support, talking to the developers, has been the best ever. I'm like, the fuck out of here.
It's probably better. Lie. It's probably better than it was. I mean, what the Japanese do not like is, well, they don't like that they took games to Microsoft and Microsoft turned them down, and now Microsoft's over there begging for those same games. I mean, because people talked about, well, they got Yakuza. It's like, well, they offered them Yakuza. The Japanese offered them Yakuza years ago. Microsoft said no. Yeah. So
you know. Craig, one thing I will say, Craig, that when they announced that Yakuza was coming to the Xbox, right, which is cool. But one thing that really bothered me, it's coming to Game Pass. I'm like, why? Why you cannot just release this game digitally and let's see these guys are really going to go out there and support it? Because this guy felt, we want Japanese games, we will support it. Okay, don't get on the Game Pass, buy it, pay your money, talk with your money. You really going to support it?
Well, that's not what they're doing. That's not what they're doing. They want people in their subscription service, so they have to give them a reason to get the service. I had the service. I forgot all about it. I extended my service, so I need to start playing like Outer Worlds and stuff like that because I forgot I had it. I'm like, oh crap, because they actually sent me an email, a reminder email. I mean, that's how trash the service is. Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, I think I know why Xbox is actually getting Yakuza now, and I don't think it has anything to really do with a fan begging them for it.
Mhm.
I think it's more of, see, Sony had basically console exclusive. Well, they pretty much had exclusively for a while for Yakuza. They also have that for Persona 5, well, the Persona series.
Mhm.
And I think there was a contract thing coming up, and Sega gave them an ultimatum. Either you let go of Yakuza, or you're letting go of Persona, and Sony says, we'll let go of Yakuza.
Yeah, well, I don't blame them because I've not played Persona yet, but everybody swears by that game. So they swear by Yakuza. So
I got Persona 5 Royale
Mhm.
the other day, and I played a little bit of everything else lately. I've not played much of it,
Right.
but I understand why Sony's holding on to it because it has that JRPG feel, and that was always one of their biggest staples. You know, as a console gaming division coming up over the years.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with that. So, all right, so Resident Evil 3 has been torn down. They dropped the resolution to whatever. They said people are saying it's got the same resolution as the Pro. Is that true? Is it 1620p? Because that's what the Pro is. So this this for people who don't know. I mean, I don't know if it's the Xbox 1800p 60 frames or is it 1620p. So, because I mean, people have been telling me it's 1620p, and if it is, that's trash. I mean, that is trash with the Xbox. I mean, so people say it's the same resolution. Trash. Okay. As I said, people only does a little bit more. So let me try one more reach out to BitCloud, see if he can jump on. See if he
I'm actually wondering if a lot of that was the resolution and frame rate thing, because we know that the Xbox One X has issues with bottlenecking.
Mhm.
I'm actually wondering if, as games are being made more, let's just say, resource heavy, if they're having more and more issues keeping the bottlenecking under control to the point where they're having to keep them kind of in a parity situation. You know, it's either this or you're losing your frame rates. You know.
Mm. Yeah. Well, to me, it was they gave a 4K ultimatum. It's just to me. I mean, there's no way I'll ever be able to prove it, but there's too much. There's too many games they got running 4K that have this piss poor FPS. So so that's just my opinion though. And it says tell your truth to the ponies. So RE2 is the same resolution as Pro. Yeah, that I do remember. They even said that the Pro had a little bit of a sharper image. I mean, that I couldn't tell the difference, but that's according to Zaddy. Zaddy said that the Pro looked a little bit better. So I mean, to me, I was more worried about killing a liquor. I did not care about that. Shout out to Sony Profit again for the total of $10 in donations and Mr. Hannah with a $2 donation. So hey, look, I'm just glad I got this thing up and running. I was like, what the hell's going on? So I don't have. Go ahead.
Yeah, but like it's crazy, Craig. Like, and look, I'm just gonna be honest. I'm not saying this just how about hate against S5. I'm just being honest, man. I mean, like you can be in your own little world in your little bubble, right? But then everything is okay. But in reality, it's not, right? That look how Microsoft is ending this generation, not on a high note. I'm sorry. Look, yeah, they got some studios. That's cool. But you need to have also bring bangers that can people like, yo, you know what? I cannot wait. Look how Microsoft ended up this generation. And, you know, like, yeah, they messed up, but they're not on a high note. They went a third-party exclusive, buy stuff. That's what Phil should have done, Greg. Phil should have go open the checkbook. You know what, Ubisoft, come here, since y'all don't want to make the game, we're going to fund it. We're going to give you an open checkbook so y'all can make a new Splinter Cell game and make it exclusive to the Xbox. They had it last generation with
I agree with that.
They did, right? Why you cannot do it?
I don't know. I mean, I remember playing. I remember when Splinter Cell went to Sony years ago. I guess it was Double Agent. I think that was the first Splinter Cell.
Double Agent.
Yeah, and I was like, oh my god, I can't believe they lost that game. You know, it's just like, damn.
Yeah, man. Yeah. In
So-
convention, they had it to exclusive to the 360,
Yeah.
and that's what I'm saying. That Phil, look, I'm gonna be honest. They're like, Phil, oh, it's a nice game, blah. But I'm like, look, Phil, he don't want to compete. He just want to be here, just to say, we all gamers, and everything's wonderful, guys. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, I don't see hunger. Like, you know what I mean? Peter Moore, that dude wanted to win. That dude, like, he went out there getting Mass Effect. That shit was out down there with the PS3. That was first in the 360. You saw that? That's what I'm talking about. Things like that. That's what Phil has to do, and I don't see him doing it. He needs to do those third-party deals like that. Look how he worked with Sony this generation, and and he needs to like really just book it up. Like, yo, I want to compete. I want blood. I want to come out of your neck, Sony. You really killed it this generation. We coming for you, and I just don't think they want to do that. They want to rely on Game Pass. That's the golden ticket for everything, and it's just like I don't see that passion. Like, yo, I want to go toe to toe. I want to show you like who we are. Like we going to make a comeback, and I just don't see it. You just want to be here just to be here and put some double A's, like you said, double A games on Game Pass, and keep it moving. And in my opinion, that's sad. That's sad.
Game Pass is a graveyard for games. That's all it is.
Yeah, it's a good option. Good option. You know, low budget, you can get Game Pass. Same with PS Now. Hey, you got a low budget, you want to play some games, you can get it for $10. I'm not denying it. Great value, right? Great value. Everybody cannot spend $60 real quick. Every game, boom, boom, boom. Not everybody. You know what I mean? Hey, understandable, right? But don't use this as an excuse to just fall back and say, you know what? We can just give you just trash. Take this game, bring an edge, and crack down. You know what I mean? Like, you let this game develop like 8 years, 7 years, and look how it turned out. Was it really worth it? Was it really worth it? And that's one of the things I say. That game right there, Phil should have canceled that game a long time ago. Nobody care about Crackdown. Nobody.
Well,
Do you know that? Sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, but it is what it is, man. It is what it is. I hope he can change, man. He
I was just
stop being. Go ahead, bro.
Sorry about that. I thought you were done. I keep sorry. I was just going to say that most of the games on the 360, even that everybody talks about how they had such a great generation, they were all originally PlayStation games, except for the Microsoft exclusives and the ones that they helped publish, which are very few. Most everything that they got was originally PlayStation games that they used to slingshot themselves into a more successful position because of Sony's late release of their console, in addition to the stumble at the beginning of the generation. If Sony had not have stumbled, the 360 would have been viewed as a joke the entire generation.
That's true. I do believe that. There was a lot of games that I saw that the PS3 was started getting. Like, once the PS3 started to pick it up, like the Tales series. You know how many Tales series there were in the PS3? That shit never came. Well, there was one Tales game that was only for the Xbox 360, right? But the rest of the Tales series, that shit was only PS3 only. Like, you know what I mean? There was a lot of Japanese support that was going to PS3, and there was a lot of games that stopped. Was going on the PS3 and didn't make it to the 360 once when PS3 was starting to pick it up. And and like I said, it is crazy that the PS3 he make a huge comeback. And that's what I'm saying, that Sony never gave up. They lost so much millions of dollars. But you know what? I said, you know what? We're just going to give up. You know what? We're not going to invest anymore. No, they doubled down. They went out there. Demon's Souls, they got that exclusive to the box. They got so much content. They went out there. They didn't give up because they want to show gamers that, you know what, we fucked up, but we go ahead and up in a high note. So next generation, you can see what we're going to do, and they did. So I gotta give him props, Tony, for that. I gotta give him props.
Yeah.
Never give up.
Oh, that is true. That is true. I'll move on to the last subject here. Somebody said Xbox plus Ultra's Xbox got no heart. Yeah, I mean, look, when Bill Gates, you got to understand, Bill Gates wanted the Xbox done because he wanted to stop Steve Jobs. That's all the late Steve Jobs. He wanted to stop him. It was effective. And that's what he wanted to do. And then Bill Gates has lost interest. When Steve Jobs went into the MP3s and all that stuff, Bill Gates has kind of lost interest in the Xbox. So, but the last topic here, an Activision dev, again, not a fanboy, an Activision dev has confirmed variable rate shading or something like that on the PS5 through their their geometric engine that's supposed to be better. Supposed to do things better. So, any thoughts on that? On what this Activision dev has kind of let out the bag?
I figure a lot of how Sony put their hardware together, I'm sure, has a lot to do with it. I mean, Microsoft may have patented their own version of the technology for the DirectX 12, but I believe that with Sony's insight with their hardware, they will probably be able to get more out of what they've got going on than what Microsoft will with what they've got going on.
Well, that's according to the article. That's pretty much what it was saying, that that engine that they got is going to be it's going to be able to do a little bit better than what Microsoft has. I mean, that's what's implied. We have to see it working in real time. So, Post Up said PS5 didn't have VRS. Well, I think when you said Post Up said, I think that's pretty much the end of what you have to say. Obviously, it does. This is according to a dev. So, you can. What Post Up or D-Batch or anybody else says does not matter at this point. They were wrong. If they said it, they were wrong.
Well, Post Up believes in the flat Earth. He thinks aliens play, frisbee with our brains or something. I don't know. But anyway, I really believe that Sony's going to have a better tech, I think.
Well, it just really sounds like what happened to me is that Sony announced their thing at the GDC. And they didn't do the GDC. They recorded it. It wasn't for public consumption. That is clear. 100%. That was clear. But ever since these developers have started coming out talking, you can kind of feel. It just feels like the momentum has shifted. I don't know. That's just what it seems like to me. That's why I think Microsoft is going to show some games next week. I think they're going to actually show some games. I want to say Monday or Tuesday. They got some games that they're going to show. So maybe we see Fable and a possible Splinter Cell or something, some type of game that they're going to have, because Sony really has done a good job of with the developers coming out and saying. I thought what the Remedy dev said was devastating about all the people who said that Sony's SSD wouldn't be able to do what they said. That was devastating when he said, yeah, they'll be able to have deeper destruction and things like that. So, have to wait and see.
One thing I thought about was everybody's talking about the SSD is like, the CPU is supposed to be the brain of the console. But honestly, it seems like the way that they've got their SSD sort of set up, it kind of feels more like like an intersection that has a really good traffic light or something. And it's like it's dictating how everything works, and it keeps it efficient, as opposed to just everything working when it's supposed to. It's just the way it feels. I mean, I could be way off on that, but it's just everything seems to stem from the efficiency of the SSD, and as long as it runs the way it's supposed to, everything else is going to continue running as it's supposed to.
Yeah, it just sounds like it's just going to be a little more efficient. I've always said, when the NFL draft is next weekend, ladies and gentlemen, but if you can draft a linebacker that can play all three downs, that's the PlayStation 5. But Microsoft has a guy that they're going to draft that he can only play first and second down. He can't be out there third and long because he won't cover as well. So it just depends on what you want. Do you want a guy who want to be out there first and second down, which is fine. That's what Ray Lewis was. If you don't, the people who played all three, but all three downs would be like a Mike Singletary. So, and let me tell you this: Mike Singletary and Ray Lewis are both in the Hall of Fame. Both extremely intimidating guys that you didn't want to run into across the middle. So
actually curious about how well everything is going to run together, because the efficiency thing is great, but with they have a powerful console as it sits, but the power in itself is not what's important. It's how it's put together, which I tried to say something about that to Jemai the other day, and he kind of got weird with me.
Wow.
Because you could take pretty much the exact same hardware that's in the PS5, ship into the PC, and it probably won't work the same way because it wasn't put together the same way.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to me, it just that's what it seems to me, is that you got one console just seems, based on what the developers were saying, it's just going to be a lot more efficient. Not a lot of bleed over, no wasted motion. Kind of like Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee developed a style where there was no wasted motion. So with his fighting style,
Bruce Lee also said that a kick to the face only really, looks good for movies, but you can do just as much damage with a fist to the face as what you can with a foot. So why waste your time using your foot when you can just use your hand?
Yeah, why use the energy? Yeah, that's pretty much what he did was when you look at his style, it was just he took away wasted motions to give you the most efficiency with the motion that you had. So you didn't draw back and because he said about punching somebody in the face, you can have multiple punches to the face to cause more damage than you can with a kick to the face. So do you want to hit somebody 3 times or kick them once?
Oh, I guess I said that wrong then, because I was referencing the same thing you just did.
Well, no, that's pretty much it though. It's just why waste that energy, on a kick when you can use it, and that's what it seems like. I mean, look, Microsoft went, and like Porter Rock 77 has said it. Microsoft went with a more traditional console, which is fine. It's not like it's not going to work. It will work. It's going to be fine. This Sony looks like a little more. This more efficient. They're not going to waste as much motion. Of course, with you turn on something, you're going to have some energy bleed out. But it just sounds like Sony's figured out a way to be a little more efficient. But we got it on paper, and we have to see it running. Have to see this thing running in full motion. So,
I mean, really, the Series X feels more like an Xbox One with yet more hardware shoved into it, just like the One X is.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, on paper it is. So we'll have to wait and see what else it does. Sony had a bigger leap to go because the Pro wasn't a 4K console, or it wasn't tabbed as a 4K native console, whereas the Xbox X was. So Xbox had the movies on it and stuff like that, which I thought was fine. It was trash though. The console itself for gaming, this wasn't a very good console. So, I mean, I've had 2 of them, and I just had an issue. So, well, I mean, yeah, right, Impatient Fire. Sony is a genius, but what I've discovered is the Xbox community, they don't believe him. I mean, whatever he says, they're going to automatically say he's not telling the truth, it's not possible, and he's lying. That's an automatic default they go to. So that's why I think it's good that the developers have been saying stuff, not people in Push Square or different magazines and stuff like that. Well, maybe you can do this, maybe you can do that. No, the developers are telling us what they've been able to get out of it. So, which is good. It's good.
I was actually thinking that Mark Cerny kind of feels like the Mad Hatter in terms of his, character. Is that he's a mad genius in what he does, and people might think he's crazy yet, but whenever he shows his results, it's like, dude.
Yeah, which I agree when people say they got to start showing some games. Like, yeah, I don't disagree with. They got to show us. They have to show us 2 new games running, and they have to show us 2 old games running. But they don't have to show it now. I mean, I know they're. Oh man, look at the supply lines get opened up in the next 2 weeks. You still got a shot of getting The Last of Us out on time, but the supply lines have got to open up. Right now, they're not open. So,
I think that I get this feeling that The Last of Us Part 2 is probably going to release around October, and the only reason I think that is because it's a more horror-centric game and it is Halloween. I figure Iron Man VR probably will launch in September, either August or September, and I just think that's kind of one that they're figuring it's going to be somewhat, because it is Iron Man, it's going to be somewhat successful, but they're not really banking on it.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas with The Last of Us Part 2, they know that it's going to be hugely successful when it launches. So in October gives them at least a month or longer before the PS5s drop.
That's a good point. But that actually makes sense. Yeah, I can see that happening. See, I think Iron Man gets pushed back closer to when Black Widow releases. So, but yeah, I could see The Last of Us being in October as well.
That's a good point about the Iron Man and Black Widow. That is a really good point about that one because of the Marvel properties.
Yeah, just something you can kind of It's kind of like you get it gets kind of a co-market with it.
Well, didn't they release Spider-Man PS4 right around the same time that I think it was an Avengers movie or a Spider-Man movie came out? I forget now because it was released in September of 2018.
Yeah, it released. I want to say it would release like the same year as no, not from Far From Home. Well, it was close. Yeah, because Far From Home was actually a pretty damn good movie. So, see, so Sony's going to release that in the U.S. You can walk the damn games. Yeah, I don't disagree with that, Corey Massey. They've come out with a painstakingly good reason on why it's not going to just be a digital release, and it's because 50% of the market is physical. So all those people are going to have to wait, and they don't want them to. So it's like, well, let's release it all at once. But if the supply lines can open up by April 25th, you still have a chance on getting that game in May. A chance on getting it in May. So even if it's just the pre-orders, that are fully paid out, they could do that. Possibly.
My pre-order is actually on direct.playstation.com. I don't know if you're familiar with that site, but Sony actually has their own physical game store now.
Oh, right. I forgot about that. Yeah. They do. I think they opened it last year, right?
Yeah, I think so. They had very limited games on there at first, but they're starting to get more and more of their games on there, as well as getting more of their pre-orders up. And that was how I got my Ellie Edition pre-ordered for Last of Us Part 2.
Well, that's Ghost of Tsushima better not get delayed, for the love of God. Please.
Well, I think that's the next one they'll announce. But I think they'll announce that. I think they're going to show Ghost of Tsushima running on the new hardware. I think that'll be one of the games they show. And just like I think they're going to show The Last of Us running on new hardware. I think that'll be the two games. And then they got to show us some newer stuff running. But I mean, again, they don't want to listen to me. They don't have to. They can show us one or two games. That'll be fine. But they're not. I just think because they had these delays and like Jemiah was saying about the marketing for Final Fantasy VII, they could not market. He was right. Times Square would have been littered with cloud stuff or Final Fantasy stuff. You would have had constant things, and they didn't have to do it. So now it's just word of mouth that's selling.
I've seen Final Fantasy VII marketed on both Facebook and Twitter, but it's not just from the PlayStation Twitter or Facebook account. It's actually from the Sony account as well. They're pushing it on a digital level the best they can.
Yeah.
I agree. I mean, I wouldn't mind buying it digitally, but I've already got it reserved physically. I'll go get it next week.
I'm not a real fan of digital because, and here's another example. For one thing, I just like my physical games. I like being able to pop up. Matter of fact, I actually got the deluxe edition, so I can pop open the case, pull out the musical CD from the tracks of the game, and throw it in my CD player and listen to the music from the game. I mean, there's really cool stuff that come with it. I would have rather had the other one, was like $330 or something like that, and I can't afford the $300. But for that. There was something I was going to say too, and my mind went blank when I rabbit trailed there.
Yeah. Oh, that's all right. And somebody said Horizon Zero Dawn 2. Well, I mean, I know Sony wants to show a game actually physically running, like a 6 to 10 minute demo, if that long, of the game running, and there's no event they can do that for. I do like the way Xbox showed their console. They just kind of showed it. They showed it on the TV. They showed a couple people. They weren't socially distanced correctly, but Sony could do something similar to that. They're going to have to eventually. So, but we'll, we'll have to wait and see. I mean, that console's still 10 months away. You know?
I think Sony has a roadmap right now, and they're following that roadmap the best they can with the pandemic going on.
Mm-hmm.
But you're not going to see anything on PS5 until at least the launch of Ghost of Tsushima. That's my guess, which I think you said that or something similar to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, if they're going to delay it, then show some games. That's kind of the way I would look at it. But I do think those will get delayed. Yeah.
I do remember what I was going to say earlier is that I'm not a huge fan of digital, and let's just say that for some reason you say or do something that gets you banned on your PSN, your games are gone. All of them are gone. You can no longer play your games. So if you don't own your digital games, I mean, I know most people take great care with what they say or do to keep that from happening. But that, I mean, accidents do happen, and even a false report. Sometimes in this day and age, a false report is just enough to get you banned, even if you didn't do anything that breaks TOS, they will still ban you for it without a question, just because somebody said you did it. So it's really, really tough to hold on to that. But if you have physical copies, the worst thing that's going to happen is you lose your digital downloads and everything. You can always create a new PlayStation account and pop in your disc and still play your games.
That's true. Good point.
So I got a question for you, Craig. So since now Remedy, they came out and said they have a deal with Epic Games, so they're gonna do some games for them and stuff like that. Right? So now Remedy is out of the question when it comes to Sony acquire them. So who do you know? Have you heard?
No, they're creating another studio from ground up. That was their,
I heard about that one.
That's pretty much it. I mean, they're still talking to, I think it's a Housemarque and Blue Point, even if it's just to get Blue Point to do some a remake of something. But we'll have to wait and see if that goes through. So,
speaking of Blue Point, I actually had one of their devs respond to me on Twitter after some statements he made. And he definitely encouraged me, because I think I mentioned to you before, I'm wanting to learn and develop my own games to actually put out there.
Yeah.
And he actually gave me several. He responded to me several times, gave me a lot of encouragement and everything. He's a real nice guy, but he is from Blue Point.
Yeah, I think the way people got to respond to them is don't be an asshole. Like if I were to get in touch with Naughty Dog, say, oh man, I disappointed you all can't get the game out, but hopefully things work out and something works out and the game can come out sooner than later. If you say that to them versus tweeting them, oh, this is horrible, how could you do this, all that stuff, they're just going to roll their eyes. They know people are disappointed that the game's not coming out. They're disappointed that the game is gotten delayed. But yeah, I mean, hopefully they release the demo that they were going to do at that, whatever they were calling it, Outbreak Day, whatever they were calling something like that. If they can maybe release that 15-minute demo, that would, I think, stave off a lot of butt hurt people, which I don't know why they're upset. There's too much going on right now. To release a game about a pandemic that hits the world, probably not the best thing to do right now. How are you going to market that?
Yeah, I was actually thinking about that the other day. Even that, thankfully Days Gone came out when it did, because that one also sort of falls into that category.
Yeah, that is true. And I like Days Gone. I did not think that it did anything. It did some things different, but everything you did in that game had already been done in a zombie game. It was an exclusive game. The character was okay. I did like the part where that guy got his arm cut off. That's like for me where I started like investing in the game. That took a while. That was like 3 hours in. So it took a while for me to get hooked on that game. But once I did, I thought it was okay. It was fun. So it was fun. So
with Days Gone, it was my favorite game last year. Nothing against Death Stranding, because I loved it as well. I mean, both of them. I just really enjoyed both of them from the ground up. But Days Gone, I found more fun with the gameplay, also with the storyline. The storyline just really dragged me down the road. I was so addicted to that game. I'd come home from work and would just log in to play, and it would go on the mission, side quest didn't matter as long as I could stealthily stalk all of the freakers in the wild. I did it, and I had fun doing it.
Yeah, and I was very disappointed in the Sawmill Horde too. Very, 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 very disappointed. Everybody told me that was going to be the hardest part of the game. That horde was not difficult to beat at all. Now that one that was by the rail tracks or something like that, that was hard. That was difficult.
Is that the one where they're sort of like sleeping in the car in the train car?
Well, yeah, they were in these. There was like a bunch of train cars, so I had to set all these little bombs up to. I had to set all these little bombs up to like get them. And then if you timed it wrong, it threw everything off. But and the one by the school, that was harder than the Sawmill Horde. At least it was for me, because I had nowhere to thin them out. The Sawmill Horde, you just ran around in a circle, and it's not like they were smart enough to go back the other way to meet you. I just ran around in a circle and I would throw stuff at them, and then finally they thinned out. So I had an M60 or it was an M45D. I just turned around and went flat out Rambo on them. So I'm like, well, that wasn't hard. I was very disappointed in that. So, but it was fun. It was fun to play. Yeah, his wife had a big butt too. So,
What's up?
Well, who is this?
Oh, you think?
All righty. Well, the man of the hour. The man of the hour. So I finally got my stream up and running. I didn't know what the hell was going on this morning.
Yeah, we had to troubleshoot RGT 3 times yesterday. Like at the start, everything was fine.
Yeah.
So as it started, the shit went from okay to trash. And what the hell? It started to drop, and then we had to launch it 2 more times, and then finally fixed it. But it still wasn't a pretty start.
Oh, well, yeah, I was struggling this morning with this. So I had to put in a new, is it called a stream key? And it just started working. I'm like, well, let me just hit go live, and then it worked. So I was like, all right. So.
The new OBS, or not OBS, the new YouTube default thing they're gonna be pushing on this. I'm gonna have to walk you through it again because they changed it all around this time around.
I hate that thing.
More. I don't like this shit either. I'm not a fan of it.
Yeah, I do not like
plastic.
It. I mean, it just it's probably less to me. There's 3 steps the way I do it now, and I think they added like 5 steps. To do it. It sucks. It really does suck. Well, yeah, Big Clown, while you're here, what do you think about this VRS now? Because somebody on the RGT podcast, a guest said that they weren't gonna have it. So I think that's what was said. I could be wrong. I'll say
he said that the specs there. I think he said the specs that were revealed are not capable or something like that of it. And again, he got keep in mind now that individual he has spoken to Xbox and PlayStation X, so that I can confirm. But the thing is, remember we said this before on RGT, Sony has been tight-lipped on a lot of shit.
Correct.
They have been very, very tight-lipped on a lot of shit, and a lot of shit could have been tweaked in the process or been improved over time. So we haven't gotten all the shit yet, but we do know now that we got the DualSense controller that pretty much they're on track, and the hardware is pretty much ready to go. We're good. We have nothing else to worry about. But we're just gonna wait and see what's going on. There was more news that just dropped today that I forgot to do a video on, but it was more news that dropped today that the Spider-Man gameplay that we saw that was running super fast.
Yeah, that's at 0.8.
That was running on an older PS5.
Oh yeah.
It was running at a slower speed PS5. It wasn't running at the full thing.
Oh, so now the whole thing could have instantaneous. You just die. You're like, oh well.
It could be instantaneous, like we talked about. Remember how we talked about instantaneous the user interface, how it can immediately get you from point A to point B that faster on the screen to your gameplay. All that shit is literally on screen. It's out there. So I'm not worried about it. This is why I've been quiet. A lot of people wonder why I haven't been dropping much. I don't really have to drop as much like as
How
everybody's
much?
doing.
Let me ask you. How much damage is being done by the developers to these Xbox fanboys?
Well, one of the things we heard about, right? Dude saying that I think the new scare is that people are not going to use the developers are not going to use the full 12 teraflops. That's the new fear that's going around.
Well, but
Again,
the T flops are a theoretical
they're just a
computation.
theoretical.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
this is
how
not
can you
this is
use
not what we
something that's
think.
just theory? Yeah. So
Yeah. That's the funny thing about it. So it's like, okay, I see people are complaining about this on the Xbox side. They're saying that lazy developers are gonna probably affect the console.
are you
It's not lazy develop.
serious?
Some people are saying lazy developers. Basically, I already saw the excuse. Trust me, I could have made like 40 videos on this shit, Craig. There's a reason why I retired. There's a reason why I retired, but I got a keen eye. I got a keen eye. But dude said, "What's up, Emrys? I see." But there were 40 there's like 40 people I can name right now that was like, oh, this shit's going to be not bottleneck, but the developers are fucking not using the full assets because they're paid or they're lazy.
But
It's like they're not
their own
fucking lazy. There's
developers.
only so much they're going to get out of this shit.
Well, they're talking about their own developers, right? Their own
Nah, they're talking,
developers.
they're talking about third party developers,
Oh,
shit
well,
like that.
they're third party. Of course, they're not going to use everything. But they think their first party developers are not going to
You would
push the
think with
console?
the One X, right? You would
Mm-hmm.
think with the Xbox One X, you would have got an estimate of what the fuck to really expect, type of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like the Xbox
Mm-hmm.
One X told you the final note. It gave you all the details you could possibly think of when it comes to this. And we said this numerous times, and many people said it was biased, but we're not trying to be biased. We're not. We told you you just can't rely heavily on the fucking third party games. You need your own first party to fully showcase that shit, right? You need your
Mm-hmm.
own talent. There's just you can't rely on third party devs. You just can't. Sure,
I
they're
don't
cool.
disagree. Yeah.
We play a lot of third party games, but we need those first parties to really show that crazy leap. Ain't no company gonna look at PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X unless their pockets are being fattened by Microsoft or Sony. They're not gonna go, yeah, you know what? 12 teraflops, 10. Let's prioritize this one. They're not going to do that shit. They're going to fuck
Right.
up their money on either side. They go for parity, do they not? And they always go to the least common what denominator.
Yeah.
And this is where Lockhart comes into a play. I
Is
already see
that
people
real?
showing Lockhart.
Is that
Lockhart's a
real?
gift. Lockhart's a gift, but it's also a curse.
But
It's a
is it
gift and a
real?
curse.
Is it real?
I'm being told that it is. I'm hearing this shit everywhere where I go. I'm hearing that it's real. If it is real and they're doing a Lockhart and this thing is, let's say, priced at I'm guessing $399 to compete with PS5's price. $399, maybe a little lower than that. But if this shit is true, listen, this console, if you launching this shit super cheap, I have to ask everybody in the chat, to the 68 people watching you. Shout out to you. That's what's up.
Yeah.
I see the growth. But
Oh,
for the people watching, I have to ask you guys, what's the point of Series X?
I mean, to me, go ahead. Go ahead.
What's the point? What's the point?
I was just going to say that it sounds like it's more about giving the fanboys something to circle jerk over. That really all it sounds like.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I don't understand this shit. It's like, okay, it's a gift and it's a curse. It's cool because it can be an entry level console, get you into the ecosystem, and Microsoft has already told you this. They don't give a fuck about exclusives. They don't care. All their games are everywhere. You're gonna be able to play everywhere, any day of the week. They don't care. You can play it on any platform you choose. They just want you in the ecosystem. Yeah, you can be in. They just want you in the ecosystem, and the moment you're in that ecosystem, that's it. That's all they want. That's all they care for is you being in that ecosystem. And again, the Series X is cool, but like I said numerous times, I said this on numerous podcasts, and every time I say this, oh, it's damage control. But I said again, the results. I'm a man of what, people? Results. The results speak louder than these spec sheets.
Well, but speaking of that, but what about the VRS? I mean, and the what's it called? Geometry engine?
Yeah, the geometry engine is Sony's way of doing the virtual array shading. That's what they're rocking for PS5. They went into detail about this at the the GDC conference that Mark Cerny did. A lot of us kind of missed it. We were talking more because they were talking more so about the SSD, but they are indeed going to be using virtual machine. They're going to be using that. So they have all that in PlayStation 5. The PS5 and Series X are they're pretty much doing the exact same thing, guys, everybody in the chat, but they're doing it in two different ways. Microsoft is going all out with their GPU, with their power, like with the power and everything, with the CPU and GPU. They're pushing all that shit with that, but Sony's going about it with different techniques. And the reason why Sony went this different particular route is because they want to eliminate any chance of a bottleneck between any of these issues. This system is literally made directly for developers. Like it's like when you look at PS4, they said PS4 was made by game creators for game creators, making it the first one. PS5 is legit optimized to take full advantage of every single asset, feature, all that shit for developers. That's what it's for. Xbox Series X is no slouch either. Don't get me wrong. Like, you know what I'm saying? Xbox Series X is no slouch, but this is what Sony's going for. Efficiency, speed and efficiency.
Yeah, that's what I think they're going for. I have to wait to see it in motion, of course.
Oh, that's already told, man. It has a higher throughput than what's in the Xbox Series X.
All right, so
They're talking
the
about
IO,
they're talking like
what's
5.5
gonna be
gigabytes.
now? Why do you think people? And I even saw Jack Reacher. Jack Reacher had to talk about the bottlenecks. Okay, so this whole thing with bottlenecks is really starting to get. I think they're starting to realize it. So
yeah, a lot of people are getting into the spec sheets, right? They because they see the GPU and CPU. Microsoft does have the advantage again in those specs, but again, it's just the amount of speed Sony went with this particular thing. This is why developers are praising the hell out of this SSD with the 5.5 gigabyte read. All this is how fast information is passed through the PS5 through their CPU and GPU. This is how basically big worlds can become bigger for them. You know what I'm saying? And more detail can be pushed on screen. This is what they're talking about. This type of stuff they're praising. And so again, Microsoft will win overall when it comes to the fidelity, right? Because Microsoft is a better GPU. Let's just keep it real. SSD is not going to boost a GPU.
well, no, that's true. Anybody who
Yeah,
thinks that
it's
it
not going to boost the
will,
GPU. Just
it
like an
just
SSD, it's not going to boost the CPU.
yeah, it
That's
just
just
will, but it will give an opportunity for deeper, richer environments that were not, because that's how they do Star Citizen, and it was even the Remedy dev. I thought that what the Remedy dev, everybody was caught up in the PlayStation gamepad.
Xbox already starting to
Yeah.
bring out
People
fake
just
fear
want,
monger that
people just
devs
want
like
like
his all
shit to be
1 2
disappear. I
2F
get it, trust me, I get it. Because
because they knows that
I mean, come on,
Xbox
Craig.
Series
We go to
10
war
is
with this
full
shit
of
every week.
bottlenecks.
Yeah.
We just they want so many things that have either not worked out for them to be eliminated so that they can have that type of thing to brag about. Like, yeah, exclusives no longer a thing, right? Now we got them, type of thing. That's what it is. Again,
Let me get this.
I'm not here to tell people they're wrong, but shit,
Yeah,
some people just don't like that shit.
let me get this from V'ger. He sent out the
Okay.
$50, 50 cent. Appreciate it. Says Xbox already starting to bring out fake fear monger that devs won't use all 12 T flops because they know that Xbox Series X is full of bottlenecks. Well, I mean, again, the GPU, according to the Remedy developer, which to me was huge, when he said that it could allow a game like Control to have more destruction, more destructive environment. So they could actually go back in and data mine it to destroy more stuff. That she could actually do more. Again, she'll be able to do more stuff on that version as far as the destruction than she would on the Xbox version or even on a PC. It's capable of doing that. So to me, that was a third party developer confirming what Mark Cerny had said, and also the guys who make Star Citizen. They have said publicly this game is based on the SSD. We can't run this game on a regular hard drive because it doesn't do it. We won't be able to
Yeah,
do it.
that's why both of them are opting for that. That's basically why they're both opting for these new M2 drives. Like Microsoft's is those little memory sticks that go in the back, little
Yeah.
memory cards. Sony's is more likely going to be what you see on your rig. I don't know if you have one. The M2 drive. It's like a small little, looks like RAM. It's like a little small stick goes in your PC. I have that on mine.
Well, I don't know what's
Sony's
in
going with
there.
that, but they're also said they gotta check to see if you can use certain ones for that. So again, it's gonna be interesting to see how they handle that. But as long as they're not proprietary, which I hope I hope not, because if we go down the proprietary route, that's hitting PS Vita territory. And the same thing can be said about Xbox. You know, we don't want it proprietary because 9 times out of 10 they give you the bare minimum, but they charge you out the ass for it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
2 terabytes can be like $300.
Oh, don't say that. That's more.
You know what I'm saying? 3 terabytes can be $300. You know, it's not like Seagate. Well, they partnered with Seagate, which I think is smart, but I don't know how big these actual hard drives are. You know what I'm saying? Especially the day one editions. I don't know how big these hard drives are. Some people were saying like 100, not 100 gigs. Some people were saying probably a terabyte, maybe 2 for the first one. I'm not sure, but
I think a terabyte probably.
I can see a terabyte, additional terabyte. But again, with the way games are going to be big going into next gen, I mean, the shit with Red Dead 2, I'm seeing that being the norm for PS5 and Series X, especially with how big the worlds are going to be. Like, it's just, them hard drives are going to fill out very fast, what I'm basically saying.
You think games are going to get bigger?
They're designed to.
Bigger files. Now, Sony does a new tick. They're with their, I think it's called Kraken decompression.
Yeah.
I think that's what they said.
Well, they're
so they
Kraken
compress a lot of their games. Yeah, they're going to compress a lot of their games to fit, but again, I'm not sure how big games are going to be. This is kind of a theory I'm going off of, again, based off like, because remember, one of the best or one of the more detailed games we've gotten this generation was Red Dead 2.
Yeah.
And that was a big file for everybody. That was 100 gigs. I mean, hell, look at Call of Duty. Some people say Call of Duty, the new one, looks really good, but that's another big file, like 100 gigs. You know what I'm saying?
That took forever for me to load.
Yeah, that's another big file.
God,
so again,
that took a long time.
Call of Duty can be a lot. It's going to be a pain if they continue this route with their the way they're expanding the world. Cause you see how big Call of Duty's maps are now.
Yeah,
like a lot bigger, and like there's not that many players in there.
Mm-hmm.
I can see that shit being even bigger on the next gen. The question is, I would highly recommend they fix their network though. They need to fix that network and just have more players and get rid of the 6v6 shit. But that's another rant. That's a rant for another time.
Didn't someone say like won't they allow you to have the choice to what you install, like the single
Yes.
player?
Yeah, but they do that now.
You can prioritize what you want to download. So if you are a single player guy, like if you don't like the multiplayer aspect, you don't even have to bother to download that. But again, for the average casual, right? They'll download the whole damn file.
Yeah, I know The Last of Us on PSN, when that was available for download, it said, do you want to download the whole file or just the single player or the multiplayer? Trusty's saying that Sony cannot say they're using VRS because Microsoft patented that tech, but since PS5 uses RDNA 2, also they just went up. They will use VRS also in a different name or moniker. Yeah, I mean, this is just more confirmation that they have RDNA 2, not RDNA 1, not RDNA 1.5 or RDNA Lite. It's just I just think the more information is coming out, the more it hurts them. That's why they're stuck now trying to explain, saying that, well, Xbox will have no bottlenecks. They said, all right, fine. I'm like, that's fine. You know, if you all think that it's not, then not based on the way they read their information.
So
now, maybe they got to work.
It's really going to be interesting, though, to see how these games look when they start really pushing the hardware. You know, really start pushing. Like,
I'm kind of interested of cross generation.
More assets, all that shit. Yeah.
Cross generation with PS4, Xbox One, the base one, Xbox One X, PS4 Pro, and PS5, and Xbox Series X and Lockhart. I'm interested to see that.
Yeah. See, Vega, you made a good point. Yeah, Red Dead 2 is damn near 100 gigs on console, on PS4 and Xbox One, right? And yeah, through cracking the compression, it will be lower on PS5. Here's the thing, though. That's just the PS4 version. I'm talking about PS5 version. You know what I'm saying? That's more assets. They're really going to push that. And so it's hard to really say. I'm not sure how big these files are there.
No, but I will say this: like when it comes to Sony, I'm not worried about it. Look what the hell they gave us with 1.8 T flops, and it's just incredible. People thinking, that The Last of Us, Ghost of Tsushima was running some high PC shit, and it was not the case. It was running on the 4.2 T flops, and people were losing their minds, and like it's just talent, man. Like I gotta give Sony has some great talent, and I said this before. Sucker Punch is going to be the new, not as in the studio, but that it's going. I think Ghost of Tsushima is going to look better than The Last of Us. Like I just feel it. Don't get me wrong. The Last of Us
This
looks
time it could
incredible.
very well.
It
Yeah, I
could.
mean, right
It
now,
looks,
if you like that art style, it looks better to you right now.
Yeah.
If you like that art style, but the thing is, too, you gotta keep in mind, Last of Us 2 was delayed, and I think they're really delayed to just take full advantage of PS5. It's a little tough to say now at this point,
Yeah.
but I do agree though. Ghost of Tsushima had my attention for the minute.
What about Cyberpunk?
That was a toss up, but then when I was like, yeah, I saw other games, I was like, I'm still gonna get it. I'm gonna try it out. I mean, I'm not gonna be an asshole. Like, I'm not gonna try it out, but I still gotta get to it. I said, do you think we can store our PS5 games on a hard drive or send them to the SSD when we want to play them? No, those games need to work with those hard drives in PS5.
Yeah.
The new one that has to work with those. They can't work on those mechanical drives that we got right now in the PS4 and Xbox One because they're slow.
Yeah.
They can't run on those.
And that's why the PS Pro, that Mark Cerny even
That's why
made fun of it.
again,
That's why it sounds like it's going to explode. Yeah, because it's bending over backwards to cool off. Because more than likely, I think he was talking about the floating points. I think when they break it into the 14 or the 30, there's something like that they do. It causes the machine to kick on at a higher rate. And I mean, you can go back to his thing. He even starts laughing about it. So, so he knew it was.
I don't think they confirmed. That's the thing too. Did he even say anything about? Because we know for Series X, right? You can plug in your Xbox One hard drive and play your old library on there. He said that, right? He said that. So they didn't say nothing about that for PS5 before. So I'm guessing digital wise, that's going to be seamless.
Yeah.
Hardware wise, I'm not sure how they're going to do it. Do they expect you to take your hard drive out of the PS4?
Yeah, see, I don't know.
Here or something?
Not the way they're talking. That ain't the way they're talking, Big Cloud. The way they talking is the way they're like, well, they want it to be a seamless transition.
Okay, so can you store them? I'm not sure if you can store them. Again, I don't know. The way Marks broke it down, you would think they're incompatible.
Yeah.
The way he broke it down.
Yeah, that's why they're gonna have to just show it happen.
Stored and yeah, probably. Yeah, that's a toss up at this point.
Yeah, he's gonna have to show like I don't know. They're gonna have to show God of War on the PS4, the physical disc going into the PS5, and then it popping on, and then it starting to work that way. And they could say if you want to start over, blah blah blah, it'll be capable of doing this at the at your input screen when you first turn it on, and a resolution mode or performance mode, and so
we just plug it in. So yeah, pretty much your PS4 is pointless then. You can just plug in your hard drive into the PS5.
Oh yeah, once I get my PS5, I'm not going. My PS4 is gone. I'm like, all right, bye. It's fun.
It's right here at the bottom of my setup. Literally, I can hear the fan going up because I have Neo 2 playing, but it's. I am interested to see how they manage the noise issue too with the whole with the variable frequency that they're doing with PS5. So that's another thing too.
Yeah. I figure that your games will probably, because I think the PS5 actually comes with a removable hard drive as well as the SSD. I think, and I might be wrong on that. So I figure that whenever you put your disc in, you'd still be installing it. I think even Mark's already said that you could move your games from the hard drive to the SSD and back and forth. If you want the faster speeds, you want to have it pre and loaded into the SSD. But as far as the game saves go, all of your stuff is going to be saved into your PlayStation Plus cloud anyway. So you should be able to just download those off of that and use your saves on your PS5.
Yeah. Should be good. Should be good then. So.
So it's going to have VRS or a version of that, or however they're going to do it. So the individuals who thought that it wasn't going to have it, they were wrong. Just sloppy trash. Okay, so this for anybody.
He said the newer PS4s are not noisy.
That's true. That is true. No, the Pro. He is right. They're not. The one that
you gotta play a heavy game when you.
Well, the one for Death Stranding,
when you play those higher ones.
Well, the one for Death Stranding, which it is stressed out on, it's not loud. but it didn't take a whole lot. I mean, come on. I mean, it's
I'm pretty sure that you hear that fan going off inside that system.
Yeah, you do, but it's not as evident. It's just kind of like, oh man, when it comes on the other ones, kind of like, well, I can only play this for maybe 2 hours. You know, that this thing is gonna start stressing. You know,
I was like, that shit get man, the long play sessions. Come on, you gonna hear that sound? That thing's gonna start purring.
That's why I tell people. That's why I only play for 2 hours, people, because I am not gonna stress it out. You know, it's like my PC. I will play for 2 hours. And then that baby goes off. I turn that off.
I feel like it only happens on the first party though for me. Well, not really. No, I can't say that now though, because Neo 2 happens. It happens on Last of Us. Played The Last of Us. It happens on a lot of games that were first party for sure, but
true.
Not a whole bunch of other third party. But I don't know. It varies for me. Really varies.
I've got Final Fantasy 7 on right now, which it's paused, and that always, makes your thing spin up. But it's actually got a pretty low hum going right now on mine. But I don't keep mine inside of a entertainment center either. It sits on top of a speaker tower.
Yeah. That's another thing too. Ventilation for these damn systems. So.
Yeah, you're gonna have to have them out.
Yeah,
I mean, I
think gonna really.
Yeah, mine will be next to my TV, not beneath it or on the. It's gonna be like on the side of it. So hopefully they have a darker texture on it. I'd like to see what the Lockhart's gonna look like, because if they talking about 1080p 60.
It's probably more like the series. Remember, he said Series X. I think it's going to be the exact same design, maybe smaller, but like a smaller tower. They look exactly the same.
Right. Somebody made a Mass Effect edition of the new Xbox or the new PlayStation controller.
I would get Lockhart.
Let's see here. Oh, I don't see it. I don't see it yet. Well, I'm sure it'll pop up pretty soon.
Oh, you see that? You see the big cloud controller?
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, you see the big cloud controller, Craig?
Not yet.
Look in the Discord.
Okay.
You see the Discord?
Yeah, let's see here.
Hold on.
Hold down. Hold
on. What the hell is it?
I see something about Cyberpunk DLCs. People are.
Yeah, scroll down.
Keep going.
Yeah, scroll down.
Well, the last thing I see here, it says be there in a few minutes. I don't see a picture.
Yeah, see it now.
I promise you. Oh, I see it now. Yeah. Well, it is pretty cool.
Yeah, that looks neat.
Yeah.
Neat.
That is pretty cool. But it's going to clash. I mean, what if the console is white? That's going to clash with the console. Well, white and gray.
No, it's a custom. It was like it was a custom controller thing. It was Blaze. He challenged me to make it custom.
I like it. I like it. I mean, I hope Sony comes out there on stage and says, "Yeah, we can do it." People.
Yeah, I think they'll do it for sure. They'll probably do it. They'll probably dab in this. I don't think there's no buttons on the back of this controller or nothing, so I can see that being added later. One thing for certain, though, I do think they work with Scuff. Scuff controller. I think they work with Scuff to make that DualSense, that new design, because it looks inspired. A lot of people were shocked that I said this, but it's very inspired by the Scuff Impact. It looks exactly the same on the sides. Has a lot in common with it.
Well, somebody just said, despite not having been officially acknowledged, PS5 will indeed be fully utilizing variable rate shading for next generation games. So, I mean, somebody's really pouring on the gasoline, on these cookies. Oh my God, somebody's really putting gasoline on the cookies. So.
It sounds like they're trying to burn them buttery biscuits.
Hey, man, like I said, I still can't believe the person said that they weren't going to be able to do it. It's like, you know what? I ain't going to be eating
have
those
a crazy ninjutsu build in Neo 2. You're running. Kind of like a muscle build. I'm rocking, to be honest with you. It's got my stamina is like up to 24. Hold on. 1 second.
PS4 game sales. Let me see that.
See, I think
I'm level 70.
I think the Series S will probably end up selling a lot more than the Series X will, and you're probably going to see a lot more head-to-head numbers going for the Series S than the PS5.
Yeah. Then.
Really?
Yeah, I went for more of a balanced build for mine. To answer your question. But,
I mean, it sounds like Series S. If they're going to do 1080p 60 and lock it, that sounds like the more balanced console.
I've got a feeling the Series S is going to have a whole lot less bottlenecks in it because it sounds like you said more balanced. You're probably going to see less bottlenecking with that one.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
little one. Yeah, that's if it's true. I mean, I want to wait for them
they
to
already
announce
got the Xbox One X. That's the fucking stupid part about this. Like they have the Xbox One X
Well,
on the
it's
market right now.
isn't it using like an older CPU though?
True, but the thing about it, that thing is capable, and it's been proven it's capable of 1080p 60, even
I see it.
1440p.
I see the Mass Effect controller now.
And it's very capable of it, but they I don't know, they didn't prioritize it.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm actually getting into Mass Effect now. Someone check that out too, Craig.
It's yeah, I put it in the Discord. It's pretty neat.
But yeah, that Lockhart's on my radar. It's definitely on my radar.
Yeah, I'll buy it. I'll buy it.
All of y'all jumping on Lockhart? Not even the main one, no.
Well, I mean, 1080p 60. I'll just go out and buy another monitor, and I'll just hook the Lockhart up to that monitor. You know, and I may have to get another 4K TV with HDMI 2.1 because I don't think my TV has 2.1.
You gotta pay the bills, bro.
Oh, okay. Well, pay them for me. I'm looking at this.
Craig, you should invite the Canadian
Danny
conman on
Riz,
so you can bust his cheeks.
I am not gonna bust that man's cheeks. Yeah, I heard. Yeah. I am not busting his cheeks when he lied about RDNA. He lied about Bell Rate Shady. This lie. I mean,
I'll be on there in 3 weeks, Craig.
What now?
I'll be on there in 3 weeks.
On what?
RDX. Don't worry, they're gonna fill my ref.
I think PS5
Don't worry
will
about
have
it.
a
I'm gonna get
boosted
them on
fan
RDX.
and two sides that there is a fin at the fan that
You'll
directs
get Code Eastwood as well. Don't worry.
the airflow between the CPU and GPU side.
Yeah, I
For
won't.
less volume
Got
and
another
more
one from
efficient
Beggar, by the way.
ventilation.
He also left it on.
Yeah, I'll read it here. Beggar with the 119 sec. Appreciate you, brother. So I think PS5 will have boosted fan and two sides ventilation, meaning that there is a fin at the fan. I think I said that right. That directs the airflow between the CPU and GPU side. Less volume, more efficient. Yeah, I mean it could. I mean we'll find out when they release it. I mean, no doubt about that. But to me, the big news is that developers just absolutely bronco busting these idiots with their narratives. I mean, to the point where what are they gonna do? I said this to somebody today. I said, look, you can either believe Matt's Gaming or you can believe the developers. I said the choice is yours. Who are you gonna believe? You know, the developer who actually has hands on.
I mean, we talk about this for Mads means well, but Mads has always been, even when we were gamer, Mads is Xbox, heavy supporter. And again, he's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm gonna hate on it. But
yeah.
No,
he just wants shit to happen, which is fine. I ain't here to tell him or knock his hustle.
Exactly. I don't go to his comment sections anymore. Like I'm unsub.
I show up every now and then. Say what's up.
Yeah. All right. Well, every now and then, yeah, you go over there and see the stupidity. You know, but no, you're right. I mean, it's not on him. He's just putting information out there, and the people have decided, oh well, I'm not going to go back and fact checking. That's not his fault. Seriously, I can't put that on him. That is on the people listening to him. You know, so and like, well, no, that's not true. I see people in this chat like Corey Massey and the Almighty Spartan God and Savage Yuga there for a little while, but I don't know how they deal with that kind of stupidity. I mean, it's just like, yeah,
good dude. Just he likes Xbox. That's all.
Well, no, not him. The comments are stupid. Not that.
Yeah. If you want legit crazy people in the chat, then you'll see there like people you probably blocked are in that chat. So.
Probably. I mean, there was some moist ass fruit booties in that chat. It's like, golly, are you all this stupid? Are you all this dumb? You know, and they are. It's like, all right, well, you know, and now they're, like I said, arguing with the devs, saying that there's lazy dev and what do they call it? Developer bias. I mean, that's the new one now. It's just like, okay, things are not going to go. I'm going to say the same thing to everybody that I said to JFons and Next Gen 720. This is not going to go the way you think. And I said that about the Xbox X, and it went exactly the way I thought. Okay, they, just crazy. Just sloppy. So that's all I can say. Just sloppy.
Yeah.
So, So
Oh god.
and the same thing's going to happen with Xbox Series X. It's just when you look at the way they delineate their power nodes, they may have some issues. I'm not here to
It's
say
just
that.
funny. Like I said it before in a video. I was like, guys, just relax. They're gonna be great.
Yes.
They go, no, that's damage control. It's underpowered. No developer's going to use it. You're mad. And then soon CRAIGTECH says the PS5 controller is great. Oh, they get pissed. It's
Yeah,
like,
the Crytek developer.
you
Oh,
can't win
he
regardless.
only worked on mobile gaming. He didn't talk about that Crytek guy. They retracted his statement. Like, no, they didn't.
I'm
They
like,
took his
well,
statement
technically
down.
he didn't retract the statement. The company took it down. That's it.
Yeah.
That's not him retracting anything. He didn't even say he retracts anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
But of course, I saw the homie. Shout out to Jez Corden. I saw the homie Jez Corden immediately try to push that. I'm watching you, Jez. I see you. I see you, Jez.
Yeah.
I love you, Jez. No, real time. RGT, everybody loves you, Jez. Even though we were not offended that you block us on Twitter.
I still don't understand that. I don't.
If you don't bleed green, you're blocked. Just there you go.
Really?
If you don't bleed green, you're blocked. I shit you not.
Trash.
Like I did nothing bad about Xbox. I got blocked because I said Windows Central's acting like a bunch of weirdos with this video, with this article. And lo and behold, I saw who wrote the article. I was like, oh, Xbox, why I got blocked? Because it was Jez Corbin. He wrote it.
Well, now are we? No, go ahead. Go ahead.
It's like PlayStation's in the world of trouble. I'm like, to who? It says Jez Corbin. I was like, oh no.
Look, both systems are gonna be good in their own way. Let's just be real about that. They're gonna be good in their own way. So, I mean,
yeah, but it's I mean, they're both going to be good. Which I'm not saying that the Xbox is not going to be a great console, but you need to have bangers.
They might, and they might. It just may take them 2 years to get them, but I'm excited for it.
They gotta build those bangers, and we're not there yet. That's what it is.
Well, I mean, how many games would it take any of you guys to say, "Hey, you know what? I'm gonna give me a Series X or
5 bangers."
Yeah. I'm hoping for it. Like I saw the screenshots of a game that they're making. At least it was kind of like an art that we saw. It was a dude in a boat. I don't know if y'all saw it. Yeah, I'll put it in the Discord. But it looks good. A lot of people are saying Fable. It looks too dark to be Fable. I'm not sure what to really think of it, but it looked good for what it was.
Mm-hmm.
So, whatever they're working on, I just hope it's good. It needs to be. Let's be real. It has to be a game changer, right? It has to be the be all of end all. Like there it is, right there.
Well, a Fable would be fine if they can get the story. It's like Fable 3. I love the story, but the mechanics were trash. But the other two I thought had better mechanics, but the story was trash.
I mean, it looks like if they do make a Fable, it'll more likely take a lot of elements from The Witcher. I can see them doing something like that.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah. It probably will take a lot of elements from The Witcher.
Yeah, that's what I heard. They want to take a lot of stuff from The Witcher. I mean, it's like The Witcher, like big open world, but I didn't like the gameplay, like the combat. That turned me off completely out of that game. The story is good. I mean, I saw, but the combat was just too stiff. Like junk. Yeah. I don't know. It kind of threw me off. But Microsoft. Then for me, like the bomb. You say how many games they need to show me?
How many games would it take you to
They gotta show me. They gotta show me a consistency. 5 bangers. 5 bangers that really gonna see that I'm gonna. You know what? They are actually being serious. They're not doing all this diabetic gaming. They're really
diabetic gaming.
I heard that in a while.
Not for real. They gotta do this, but they gotta make up for this generation, man.
But you're gonna get a lot of cartoony looking games because that's what they're going for is AA games into Game Pass. And if they give you the AAA feel, and Matt Booty brought up Hellblade, that was a AA game. That was a AA game, but it felt like a big game. That's what they want. That's what they're going to do. So I mean, and they're
But
telling us
yeah, it's a
this.
new gen, new gen. I'm
Yeah.
hyped for it. I'm excited for it. I
Yeah.
haven't talked much about half the stuff because, like I said before, Craig, what
Mm-hmm.
happened? It's basically out there. It's true. There's no
Yeah.
really reason to add on to it. It's like, what can you do? They don't want to listen. They don't want to listen. But we'll see.
Yeah,
Be saying the
that's what
bangers are
cracks.
coming. The
Yeah,
bangers are coming.
yeah.
But I'm actually gonna dip out and get some food. But I
Yeah.
do appreciate the invite, brother.
That's
Have a
fine, man.
good show.
Anytime.
Yeah, have a good show. Shout out to
No.
everybody in the chat. Hit that like button. I see y'all. 77 people showed up to Craig. So my boy
Damn.
growing.
Damn,
Continue.
late
You know.
night, a little late night afternoon. Oh, how close are we to getting Marlin Gaming Media as a guest on
I talked to
RGT?
him. Yes, I talked to him a few days ago. He did a stream during RGT, which was funny as hell. So I don't know. He probably forgot. I didn't hit him up for this week, but I'll probably see he come by next week. I'm guessing. His schedule be weird because he's married, so his wife.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
We'll see. Though. I'll try.
Yeah. All
But
right.
y'all be going. Holla at
All
y'all.
right, man. Well, thanks for coming by.
Later.
No, but Levon, like, no, for real, like, I really mean that. Like, they really gotta show me like 5 bangers that I will turn my head. And I'm like, okay, Microsoft, you're not fucking around. You're being serious. And look, Craig, you said, yeah, they're not focused on that. But and also one thing is right, which in my opinion, those games, like look how Microsoft throwing their games now. That just throwing to Game Pass and just offering you, here we go, guys, $1 for Game Pass. You can play or big triple legendary titles. There we go, just throwing them like a nothing, like a bag of chips. Like it's just I don't like that, man. Like, look, I've said before, if Ghost of Tsushima, somebody will throw in there like on PS Now, like nothing, like. I would feel that would be so disrespectful, not only to circumvent, but like to circumvent. Those guys really put in their heart and soul to this game, giving everything.
Put some actual passion.
Put in passion, bro.
Well, we have to wait and see. I haven't played it yet, but no, I think that the way they selected the time period, I thought was just really cool. They said it only took them like a minute. They said, oh, okay, we're going to use ninjas or shoguns. Well, ninjas have been done before, so let's use shoguns. So yeah, hopefully it works out. I know a lot of people going to be mad as hell if that game comes out and then White Zaddy gives it like a 73 or something like that. I mean, they're going to be mad as hell. I mean, I'm going to probably buy it, but I don't I just look at that game like, all right, what's it going to be? I mean, because I like using stealth. Shoguns are not known for their stealth. They're much more honorable. It was the ninja that fought dirty, used stealth, stuff like that. So have to wait and see what he does. And I do like what I found out is that it's on an island and that he's going to have to go recruit people to do different things. That I'm like, okay, that I'm all for. Because that tells you how deep that story is going to be. So we'll just have to wait and see.
I think what's going to happen with Ghost, and I could be wrong on this one, but I think he's going to start out as a Shogun, and maybe they said otherwise, but this is speculation. I think he starts out that way, and due to not only his defeat, maybe some other things that happen, I think he's going to go more of the way of the ninja. Like he's going to start out as the honorable Shogun, and it's going to change through the story, and he's going to be more of the stealthy assassin.
That's fine, which I think would be fantastic, and that's a journey that you, the player, can make some decisions. I think that's what I have to wait and see. I don't know enough about the game to even go to speculate, except they confirmed that you're going to put a team together, or at least be with another person with you. Now, are you going to be able to control that person? Is that person going to automatically do things to defend you and defend themselves? That's what has to be wait and see. So he goes rope and be like a ninja. G-Hole said, well, no, that's fine. I mean, in the gameplay trailer they showed, he snuck around. I mean, him sneaking up on that building, then dropping down and killing people, that's ninja style, except they would have probably used some stars to take out 1 or 2 people. Then they would have hopped down. But yeah, I just have to wait and see. But I agree. I mean, Microsoft is not like they're not going to put games out. It just I have to see something that's going to interest me. So far, that dog won't hunt. But I will get a Lockhart if it's they're going to target 1080p 60, and I can just go get a monitor and play like that. I'll just like, I'll put the Lockhart in my bedroom, and I'll keep the PS5 in the big room. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see.
What about Battletoads, Craig? Battletoads.
I'm not getting Battletoads. Again, shout out to everybody that will play it. It'll probably be 4K. Salty said, "Who is White Zaddy?"
Yo, Craig, what type of monitor do you have right now?
I've got a Samsung monitor. It's a 1080p monitor with something called FreeSync. It does not have HDR, so I need to get one this 1080p with HDR. So
Really?
I don't need it though. The monitor is so clean that I don't need the HDR. It's like I'm playing like the Mass Effect you're looking at. That's running. I've got that. That's at 720p with no HDR, and that's a clean picture. So, but I have it's 1080p. It's I think it's 60 hertz. I can get it to 75 if I wanted to. But yeah, I'm gonna do 1080p HDR with if I get Lockhart with 144 hertz refresh rate. So that's
if the Lockhart comes with all the Series X game, I think I will get that. I don't have to buy the Series X. I would do that.
Yeah, I'm not gonna buy Series X. I mean, until they come out, and then if they come out 2 years from now with some killer games, and I can walk in with the Series S, and then the Series X will come down in price. In 2 years. So I'll walk in there, maybe be able to walk out with, paying maybe $280 for Series X. I mean, that's what I'm going to do. But I'm happy with the 1080p 60 Ultra. That's if they can get it there. So we'll have to wait and see what they do. But yeah, I playing at 60 frames a second is a godsend. I mean, I go back playing on that PlayStation. I was kind of like, ugh. So it feels like I'm walking in mud. So you actually feel that. You feel the difference.
I hold a chance in the PS5. I mean, I know now everything's going to be 4K 60. I don't see that. Even with the technology, the GPU they're having now, I just don't see everything being 4K 60.
It won't be. Yeah, it won't be. Even Foxy was saying that. You'll still have. Look, you're gonna have 1800p games. You're gonna have 4K dynamic games, checkerboarded games. Not everything's gonna be 4K native. And if you think they are, you better get over that. It will not happen. Most of the first party stuff will probably hit 4K native. I don't know about the third party. So third party can still be checkerboarded 4K, but it'll be at 60 frames a second. That will be the difference. So that will be your difference. But guys, I'm going to get off here. Good grief. Yeah, shout out to Marlon Gaming. He just started a gaming stream about 10 minutes ago. Plus, I got the Black Authority on. Everybody's on. Mr. Fantastic. Shout out to Mr. He's on there. So Mr. Smoky Dog uploaded a video. So yeah, I got to go check them out. But you all go ahead and shout yourselves on out. We're going to be out of here.
This is El Matador L9. You guys can catch me on Twitter, trolling and giving the people that Ghost of Tsushima will be the game of the year 2020 and the best game ever.
That's if it comes out.
Thank you, Craig. Thank you, Craig, for having me, and y'all have a good night.
This is Levon Kaysen, and thank you for having me, Greg.
No problem. No problem at all.
This is Amari, so catch me on the Twitter. Hey, y'all have a good one. Thank you for having me.
All righty, yeah, man. Appreciate everybody jumping on, having a good time. Shout out to Big Cloud for jumping on, and apparently, he's gonna go to. You heard him. He's gonna go to RDX. He said they're gonna feel his wrath. So in a few more weeks, so you all be on the lookout for that. I can't listen to RDX. It makes my dick itch. So shout out to everybody who is gonna listen to that podcast. But all right then, guys, we're gonna get on out of here. It is Saturday. Everybody stay safe. Hug your wife and kids if you got them, and if not, I'll hug them for you. Take it easy.